and I think it's important to keep in mind that this is the moment to look squarely at the growth potential in the future and take advantage of it for each one of you. The future is not about financing trade only or consumers. It's really about ways of finding finance to fund development, the development of real estate, of oil and gas related industries, of tourism, and of agribusiness. These are really the possibilities and the potential that in the past few years have become so apparent in this economy, and they are really this engine that, next to oil, has to be fired up now for the country to grow in a balanced manner. Now, each of you must be asking yourself today how you can do to move into these new areas and these unexplored areas, and I thank you for that. But let's keep in mind also some of the structural difficulties that remain on the table. The last 10 years, we have, in spite of 10 years of progress, we still see today some weaknesses in the sector that existed 10 years ago. For example, the Ghana Commercial Bank is still embroidered in loans to the Tema refinery. This is still a deep issue that needs to be resolved. State-owned banks are still caught up in various financial scandals, I may say. And on the private banking side, the SME lending is still limited, and there is still no lending to agriculture, and the rural banking system is still not sustainable. Credit to agriculture has actually fallen to less than 4.5% of total lending in recent years. So there are still major challenges ahead that require progress, both in terms of small steps, the constant efforts, and big steps. The small steps are very much needed to build a bedrock of a solid system, and these have to do with strengthening the framework for creditor rights, or continuing to do so because there has been important progress. And finding ways to reduce the difficulties that you are having with delays in foreclosing capital, judicial delays, and resolve issues relating to the registration of collateral. I mean, these institutional issues have to continue to progress because, including inadequacies in accounting and auditing, for example, these are issues that need to continue to be addressed, and these are the small steps. But the big steps are equally important, and perhaps I should say that progress in banking is now also predicated in progress in other parts of the financial sector, because you have to be able to draw on long-term finance, and you have to be able to also draw on risk finance. And so the bond markets, the equity market, also have to grow more, the commodity markets in agriculture, and those have while experiencing some progress in the past, they remain a very small part of the overall system. And so the reforms in the pension system is, as you all know, extremely important, and the government is pushing there. This is the best way to have more long-term capital in the system, but the re-dynamized efforts are also needed to create commodity markets for agriculture and to strengthen the insurance industry so that the risk capital base doesn't depend only on or comes to be stronger and provide you with the kind of support you need to let out some of those risks to other parties that can bear them better. So, to conclude, I want to say that really the Ghanaian financial sector is a success story in the making. The first phase, the first 10 years, you have played a great role, and you have to be congratulated for this. The success of these 10 years is truly unprecedented, but the next 10 years hold even more promises. It is your efforts, but also the efforts of other financial market participants, of regulators, central bankers, the government, that will determine not only if Ghana will manage to emerge as it wants to, as a dynamic financial center and indeed a regional hub,